It's like nothing I've had before. I've had toffee and it's usually very crunchy. This is just melts right in your mouth. I just love the dark chocolate flavors and the nuts. It's really fantastic.
Everybody loves it, everybody's talking about it, but what is it that makes Heavenly Butter Crunch from Joyzelle so special? Well, I'm Jim Masters from Adventure Tours Television, and on this edition of our show, we're going to find out the heartwarming story behind each box of Joyzelle's Heavenly Butter Crunch. And to find out why everybody's raving about Joyzelle's Heavenly Butter Crunch, we came to the source, to Joyce Logan's kitchen, to find out how it got started, how it's made, and so much more. So here's the wonderful Joyce Logan, the magic of television. It's great to see you here in your kitchen, and you have some already made for us. We're going to be sampling that later.
Yes, good.
But we want the backstory. Obviously, we hear and see so many people falling in love with this terrific chocolate.
I'm so grateful for that.
Now,
truly.
Is it your recipe? Is it your mother's, your grandmother's? Tell us briefly a little of the story.
It's my mom's recipe.
Okay.
I never remember a time when my mom wasn't in the kitchen making fudge, making toffee, making cakes, everything from scratch. I mean, everything was very, very pure. It was chocolate that was chiseled from a block of really great chocolate, then put in the double boiler. And it's just my honor to be doing this in her memory. And people love it, and I love it. That's how I really started. I loved it. The Butter Crunch was my favorite candy.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, and there was a little bit of a confusion there where you thought that it was
your
recipe, and then a family member dug up something and said, well, it's actually Mom's.
I thought I first made it in 1974. I was so proud of myself. And it was only 2 years ago, shortly after my mom passed away, that a family member sent me a packet of my mom's recipes. And it was dated 1972. And then I knew it was never my recipe. I think one of the reasons why people really love the Butter Crunch so much is that I do make it in small batches. I do make it the way we traditionally made it. And, you know, just keeping the purity of it is just very important to me.
Now, there's other Butter Crunches out there, but they don't come close to this recipe. And
can I modestly say that?
Sure, go ahead. Why not?
No, their Butter Crunches are good. I've had some really great Butter Crunch. I've had some really horrible Butter Crunch. And mine is just different. It's different because I do use brown sugar and I use a lot of butter. And that means it can be a pain in the neck to cook with. That means it's going to burn more easily. So it has to be watched. It has to be made in small batches. And if someone orders it, I make it to order. And that's the difference. It doesn't sit around on shelves for months or even a year or two like some of them do.
Now, there's also another connection. You've talked about the heartwarming connection, obviously, in memory of your mother with her recipe and honoring her. But you're also honoring somebody else in the family and an actual cause, right?
Yes, yes. It's a portion of the profits benefits Autism Speaks. And I have an adult son with autism, and we've been raising our grandchild who is in the autism spectrum. Now, years ago, they didn't know that much about autism. So our grandchild is being greatly helped, thankfully, by organizations like Autism Speaks, who I think very highly of. But my goal is to help adults with autism because they didn't have the help before. And it's just more difficult for them within society to do that. So my goal is to honor my mom, to help Autism Speaks and my own family with this problem.
While making this wonderful chocolate. Now, I would imagine you've outgrown this kitchen by now. You have the website, it's in the stores, it's growing.
Yes.
So do you have somewhere where it's being made?
I have a great factory with wonderful people who make it along with me. So
I'd love to see. Could we go take a look at that?
I'd love to show it to you.
All right,
do that.
So we do that. See, well, this is actually made, mass-produced, right?
Yeah, wait till you see a big difference from this kitchen.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Even though I'm mass producing it, Jim, and I can make thousands of pounds, I still make it in small batches except I can do a lot of small batches
sure.
because I want to keep that homemade freshness
Exactly.
to taste just like it comes from my kitchen. It does.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no compromising. It tastes the same. I begin with brown sugar. The brown sugar is really important. And also the butter that I use, it's double grade A butter.
Oh, the best of the best.
It is the best. And one of the great things being in this factory is that everything is kosher too. And that's something I couldn't do at home. So like I said before, Jim, it's all about eye control at this point. I'm really watching for that certain color, and it's a rich caramely color, but it can't be too dark and it can't be too light. But I know it when I see it because I've been making it for like, I don't know, 30 some odd years. And we're almost there. And this is one whole batch. This is about 50 pounds here.
So we're looking at about 50 pounds
Right.
of Heavenly Butter Crunch.
You're looking at the center of it. And I want it at a certain texture. It can't be too thick and it can't be too thin. So as you see, he's going to get it at the perfect consistency.
Yeah.
So that when you bite into the butter crunch, it's going to be just that right crack to it.
Boy, Joyce, it's come a long way from your mom's kitchen to this.
Oh, I'll say.
day
Isn't
now.
this something?
What do you think that your mom would have felt seeing it come to this level now?
She would have been so proud. She would have been so amazingly happy.
She knew that you always wanted to take this dream and this candy
Yes.
and this chocolate further.
Yeah, absolutely, she did.
Quite a process.
Well, right now we're about to go into the enrobing machine, and that's going to just coat it and drench it in chocolate. And once I lather this all up with the nuts, it goes through a cooling tunnel, and then that allows me to break it up at the end in chunky little pieces. And now I'm breaking it just like I always did at my kitchen table.
This is the butter crunch.
That's the butter
Complete
crunch.
and done.
That's the finished product.
Can I help?
Yes,
that'd be
absolutely.
great.
Please do.
Any
Break it in
specific
half.
way?
Just break it in half, and then you break it again and again.
Wow.
You want to get nice, good bite-sized
Yeah,
pieces.
and it's unbelievable. Look at the consistency. Look at the nuts, and it's
And
really.
it all sticks to
Yeah,
it.
that's what I mean.
Right. This just reminds me of home. I used to do this at home all the time. Truly, sitting at the kitchen table with family and friends helping me. What do you think?
Caught me. I couldn't resist. I've been waiting all day.
And it's really fresh. Again, because I make it in small batches, it doesn't sit around for months and months. I really make it to order.
By looking at it, that would be very hard to chew and all fall apart. No.
Right.
It's soft.
I've worked very hard at perfecting that. It's not too hard, and it doesn't stick to your teeth either. It's just the perfect candy. Look at it. It's just so, I just love it. They're like my little babies.
This is the packaging process. Take us through
The
that.
final step.
Okay.
Everything that we did from start to finish,
Yeah.
this is the finished part, really.
Okay.
This is where it goes into the cellophane bag.
Yeah.
And they're heat sealed.
Uh-huh.
And, well, right now what I'm doing is the 6-ounce bags.
Oh, the
and
6 ounce,
This is the 6-ounce box.
Okay.
So, well, here, let me show you. This is one that's finished.
Alrighty
And this
then.
will just drop right in there. And then we just fold it. And in fact, if you want to just,
Yeah, I'll help you because you have the gloves.
I've got the gloves on.
So
my
it just
hands are a
folds
little-
forward and then
Right. It goes
puts it right
there.
in, and then it's done.
Right.
And that's
Isn't
the
that
6
pretty?
ounce.
I just love it.
Now you also have smaller
I do.
amounts
I
too.
have the smaller amounts for that, for the dark and decadent, but I also have it for the blonde bombshell, which is the white chocolate and pecans.
Dreamy.
And the milk dreamy is just with walnuts.
dark and decadent.
Right.
So these are the 2 ounce.
Right. Those are the 2 ounce.
This is the larger 6 ounce.
And that's the larger 6
I
ounce.
tell you, the packaging is really tastefully done. And
Thank
it has a
you.
wonderful story about the
Thank
making of the
you.
candy and the process with your
Right.
mom.
That, I really thought about that for years.
Very
Like, it
good.
took about 2 years to do that.
To come up with the logo, the design,
Right.
and the packaging.
Right.
Again, what I like about it is it reflects the quality and the integrity that you're keeping with
Thank
your mom's
you.
recipe.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Well, I think I have to snag another piece.
You could take the box.
Thank you very much. And that's the story of Joyzelle's Fine Confections and Joyzelle's Heavenly Butter Crunch. If you'd like to learn more, check out her website, joyzelles.com, or find it at a fine retail shop near you. For Adventure Tours Television, I'm Jim Masters. Thanks for joining us. I think I'm going to snag another piece.